Hi, I'm Nikita.
And I'm Lina.
We're two best friends with endless curiosity and plenty to say.
Join us as we dive into everything and anything life throws our way.
From hilarious stories and pop culture hot takes to life lessons and deep dives, no topic is off limits. Whether you're looking for a laugh, a new perspective, or just some fun company, this podcast feels like a chat with your bestie.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations, lots of laughs, and a whole lot of heart.
This is Two Voices, One Vibe. Ready?
What up, yo?
Welcome back to
Two Voices.
One Vibe. It's been 3.5 months.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I was just looking, as you know. Our last episode was February 20th, and it is now June 8th.
Yeah, that was a long time. But you were also away for quite a little bit.
I was gone for 3 weeks, and then weren't you gone after that?
I was gone for a little while in, April and May.
I was gone in April, too, for spring break.
Yep.
I was not gone in May.
Yep. I was traveling for business.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah.
So I was
that's
away.
Right. I forgot about that.
So we've had a lot of travel between the two of us.
Yeah.
World travelers.
Yeah. I like to
Nikita
travel.
and Lina traveling the world.
Dun, dun, dun. And we have more travels to come.
Yes.
Let me see. I have a trip in August when I go out to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a trip in the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a trip in December.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I still got 3 more.
Yeah.
And what do you have?
I'm waiting to hear back. I believe I'm going back to Europe for work.
Yes, you had mentioned that. I'm jealous.
Yes.
I want to go.
I might also be going to Asia after that. So that's coming up. And then in August, I will be also going away. I have Ireland and Greece.
Right. Oh, that's right.
In August.
That's like back to back, too, right?
Back to back, yep. Yeah. And then in September, I'll be in Nashville for work.
Right.
And then wherever life takes me.
But of all these travel plans that you have, how many of them are fun?
They're all fun.
No, but I mean, pleasure versus work.
All of them except what's going to be, so Europe and Asia will be work.
Right.
And then Nashville will be work. But I always tag on a weekend before or after my trip, so I can explore and do what I need to do. And then when I'm done working, from dinner until night is my time. So,
right. Yeah. Right. So your work trips can also be pleasurable trips.
Not can also be, are always.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
I love my job. I have a great job. Yeah. Oh, and then I was also in Orlando for work conference.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could we forget about that?
Been all around the world. Na, na, na.
I don't know that it's all around the world.
Well, lots of the world.
So, wait. If you go, you might be going back to Europe, you said, and then possibly into Asia.
Yes.
Where in Asia would you be going?
So it'll most likely be Singapore and possibly somewhere in China.
Okay. Speaking from experience, Singapore is fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like, obnoxious.
Yeah.
So,
Not looking forward to that.
pack accordingly.
So maybe I will be one of those people walking around with the umbrellas that are on my head so I can be hands-free. With like a misting fan underneath it.
Or you have, like
Like a pump?
Yeah, in Disney they have the hand fans.
Yeah.
With the fan in the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my daughter has one. Maybe we could send it with you.
I'm totally game. I will be that girl.
That girl.
Yeah. Because I'm way too white for it to be that hot. You know?
I love when you come home from somewhere like DR and you're like, do you like my tan? And I'm like,
I think I still have tan lines, Nikita.
I don't know about that.
Can you see?
No.
They're there.
I still have tan lines.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. I can't see yours either.
Remember how dark I was when I got home?
I didn't even recognize you.
I know. I'm not that dark
I
anymore.
was about to call 911 and say there's an intruder in your house.
Speaking of...
Tell the story.
Speaking of, oh my gosh. Wow, talk about a transition right there. So a couple weeks ago, I think I told you this.
Yeah.
But a couple weeks ago, middle of the night. Saturday night, it's me, the girls are home. Toby starts mean dog barking. Toby doesn't bark.
Ever.
Like,
He's like the laziest dog I know. Love him.
lazy, unmotivated, like just doesn't care. So he starts mean barking. I look at my clock. I'm like, it's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Who is he barking at? So then I thought to myself, oh, maybe my brother. Like, I heard somebody yelling outside, and I was like, oh, maybe it's my brother.
Which is so random. Why would your brother be yelling outside your house at 4 a.m.?
Because he's done it before.
Well, we'll talk about that next, but continue.
However, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's my brother. And I'm like, well, wait, let me check my phone, because if it is, he would have called me or texted me to give me a heads up that, hey, I'm at your house.
Right.
Yeah, there was no calls, no text messages, nothing. And I was like, what is going on? So I open up my phone app for my cameras, and there's some random dude at my front door. I'm like, I don't know this guy.
It's like, how old is he? Is he like young, old?
He had to have been, I'm going to say, mid-30s.
Okay.
At least.
Okay.
I mean, I really can't tell you, but if I had to guess.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know.
So it's not like an old guy that had dementia and like
No.
lost where he was going and was trying to come home.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I'm not going to open the door. So I go to the front room and I get the dog, because I don't want him to keep barking, because I don't want him to wake the girls up.
Sure.
Bad enough there's somebody standing outside of my door yelling and screaming. So I grab Toby, and all of a sudden I hear the guy fucking with my front door. And I'm like, oh no.
Like trying to get in?
Like, yeah, like trying to open the door, knocking on the door. He opened my screen door, and he's like, let me in. And I'm like, oh God.
Was he saying anything else?
I don't know. Like, I couldn't comprehend what he was saying, because he was like mumbling and yelling. Like, it was not anything coherent.
Okay. And I'm sure it was all happening so fast too. Like,
Yeah.
your adrenaline was going and you were thinking about the
absolutely.
girls.
And I didn't want the kids to wake up, so I grabbed Toby, I go back to my bedroom, I throw him in the bathroom, and I called 911. And the lady was a saint. I'm like, listen, I said, I'm in my house, and there's somebody trying to get in my house, and I'm home. I have my daughters are in the house with me. It's just us. Like, you need to send the cops. And she's like, all right, stay on the phone with me until the cops get there. Let me tell you, the cops were here in like 4 minutes, if that.
That's awesome.
But that was the longest 4 minutes of my life, let me tell you, because I don't know if this guy's going to get in my house,
right.
you know? And it was really funny, because that night I was lying in bed reading before I'd gone to bed. And I'm like, I don't know if I locked the door. And usually I'm like, meh, whatever, whatever. I was like, let me get up and check it. Thank God I got up and checked the door.
Could you imagine?
And thank God I had locked the door. It wasn't like I had forgotten. But it was one of those weird things when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I got up and checked the door. Anyway, so the cops get here, and I'm sitting in my bedroom, because I don't want to be anywhere near this, you know, and I'm like making sure the kids don't wake up, nothing. So they take this guy and they put him in the ambulance and they take him away. So the cops knock on my door. I open the door. He's like, you know, I don't know who this guy was. He's like, do you know who he is? I was like, no, I've never seen this guy before in my life. I said, you know, he was trying to get in my house. I got an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old. I have to think about how old my kids are. Is that not pathetic? Oh my God. I was like, you know, I didn't know who it was, so I just called you know what the cop said to me? He goes, that's why you pay taxes. I was like, excuse me, what? I was like, oh, okay, thanks. So, but yeah, how wild.
That's crazy.
I can't.
I had a stalker situation when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I was living in my parents' house and my brother was living there. It was the 4 of us. And one of my friends was sleeping over. We were having a sleepover. So my brother and my friend and I were all hanging out kind of like in the rec room. And it's 2 walls of windows in that room. So we're all there playing video games, whatever. I go downstairs in the basement to use the bathroom. And in the bathroom, there's this little window up top. And as I'm going to the bathroom, I hear like rustling of like leaves or like branches, kind of sounding like somebody's walking outside. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm thinking it's probably a squirrel or something.
Right.
But then I see legs walking past the window.
Oh.
So I freak out. So I run upstairs and I tell my brother and my friend, I'm like, oh my God, there was somebody walking past the window. And my brother's like, there absolutely wasn't. Like, you were hearing things. It could have been an animal. I'm like, that's what I thought too, but I saw legs. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I saw legs. And he's like, you're crazy. There were no legs. Go to bed.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go upstairs and we were going to sleep in the den. And so my friend is sitting at the kitchen table and I ran upstairs to my bedroom to go put my pajamas on, came back downstairs. I grab a glass of water. I come back to the table and there's a man standing at the window with his hands cupped around his eyes on his face.
So he could see in the
so
window.
he can see into the window. And he's just kind of peering from side to side, looking into the kitchen.
That's not creepy.
Right. So my friend had her head down on the table, because it was really late. It was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning. She had her head down on the table, and she was just kind of like resting, waiting for me to get done putting on my pajamas. So I get down there, I have my glass of water, and I froze. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was probably maybe 12 years old at the time. And I didn't know what to do. And I just kept repeating, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So my friend looks up at me and she's like, what's wrong with you? And like, it was like a broken record. I just could not stop saying, oh my God. And I wasn't moving. I was like frozen in place. And so she's looking at me. And so now she looks over to see what I'm staring at. And she sees the man in the window.
Oh God.
So she screams. So as soon as she screams, my dad pops up. He had fallen asleep in a recliner in the room where my friend and I were going to have our sleepover.
Right.
So my dad pops up, we start screaming, there's a man in the backyard. So my dad runs out the door, runs down the steps that the man was just standing on to be able to peer into the window.
Oh my God.
So my dad's chasing after him. My brother now comes up, he's like, what's going on? I was like, the man that I told you I saw when I was in the bathroom, he's outside, daddy's chasing after him.
Oh God.
So my dad, as he's running, chasing the man, he picks up an axe in the backyard because my dad chops wood for the fireplace.
Oh God, I can just imagine.
So my dad has a fireplace, it's like an interior and exterior fireplace. It's a double fireplace. So he has so much firewood. So he was just chopping wood that day. So he picks up the axe. So now my dad's running through the backyard chasing the man with an axe.
Oh my God.
My brother runs outside and there's nothing else to grab. So he grabs his hockey sticks. So my brother's got 2 hockey sticks. He's running through the backyard. My dad's running through the backyard with an axe. This man's taken off. My mom's at work. So now I call the police, right? And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, this man was like stalking us. He was peering into the house. I'm like, my dad's chasing him through the backyard. My dad's got an axe. My brother's chasing him with 2 hockey sticks. And I'm sure the dispatcher thought we were out of our minds.
Yeah.
And she's like, lock all the doors and just make sure, unless it's your dad or your brother or it's the police, do not open the doors. We're sending, units over. They're going to be on their way. So, now we're all freaking out. So the units come over, we start talking to them. My dad gives, his information. My brother, me, my friend, we give all our statements. So like, all right, if you see anything else, call us. So now I'm so scared. Like, I don't want to go to sleep at night. So my genius plan, in case this man comes back and breaks into the house, was I had a bottle of Windex and I had a knife. So my plan was I was going to spray him in his eyes with the Windex so he couldn't see, and then I was going to stab him. Because the man was huge, and I was like 12 years old, I was like a little girl. And the way that I could best describe him was he looked like Mr. Clean. Like shiny bald head, very big and muscular, tight white t-shirt, and he had the little hoop earring in his ear, like just like Mr. Clean, except he wasn't as old as Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean, I don't know, was probably like in his 50s.
I have no idea.
This guy was maybe like in his late 20s, mid 30s maybe. So a couple weeks later, my parents were at a wedding, and my brother and I were in the house alone. And I was doing the dishes, and I had this gigantic pot. My mom had just made like a big thing of like tomato sauce. And I'm washing this huge pot, and all of a sudden you hear like a clinking on the window, same window in the kitchen. And look over, and it's the same guy with a knife, tapping the knife on the window. Like I could still hear the sound to this day in my head. And I remember screaming and taking the pot and like throwing it and running. And so my brother sees him and I was like, don't go outside. Because now I'm freaked out because my dad's not here. So we had to call the cops back. So now that this is like multiple times that this happened, they sent a sketch artist to the house. So we do a whole sketch of what the man looks like, this, that, and the other thing.
It looked like Mr. Clean?
I did. Like he looked just like Mr. Clean. And they said that was actually really helpful. So they draw a sketch of the man and they were like, this could be one of 2 people that we're aware of. So both of them were in neighboring towns, but basically one of them was just kind of like a peeping Tom who they said wasn't really like armed or dangerous and just likes to peer in and watch people. Creepy.
Weird.
But I guess not dangerous. And the other one from the other town over was basically known to like be armed and dangerous and actually like inflict harm on people. So they didn't know which of the 2 it was, but being that the person had a knife that they were tapping on the window, they were guessing it was the other guy. Unless the peeping Tom could have escalated his patterns and, become more dangerous. I don't know. So that was the second time it happened. The third time, I'm down in the rec room, which is the room that has the windows on all sides. Yeah. And I'm playing video games, and I was talking to, like, my 7th grade boyfriend on the phone.
Oh, young love.
So cute. I still remember his name. So we're on the phone and we're talking, and I just remember being like, oh my God, he's back. And he's like, who? And I was like, the man that's been stalking me. So he was walking past all the windows, and I can see him walking.
The legs again.
Well, I could actually see his whole body.
Oh, okay.
The whole body. I wasn't in the basement. So only the basement window is a small window. So in this room, there are just regular windows across the hole. So I see him walking across towards the door. So like I run up to make sure the door's locked and everything. All the doors are locked. I'm running to all the doors. We call the cops again. The cops get there. They see him, but they don't get him. So it was like 3 in a row. And this was probably within a matter of maybe 2 months or so.
Oh, wow.
So now at this point, they would actually have like patrol units that would follow me when I would walk to and from school. Because, you know, now this had happened over the summer initially, but now this has gotten into the new school year.
Right.
So now I think I'm in 7th grade at this point. And so sometimes when I would walk to or from school, there would just be like cop cars that would just drive around and make sure that I was okay because we didn't know what the hell was going on. So a couple months later, I would do music lessons in the next town over. And so my dad would drop me off and then he would pick me up 2 hours later. So my dad dropped me off this one day. He leaves to go back. I didn't have a cell phone, right? We didn't have cell phones back in the day.
Yeah, it's not like it is today.
Yeah. So I get up to the door and the music school was closed. Just a reminder, we're closed this week. And I'm like, great. So I was going to use one of the phones in one of the businesses next to me to call my dad and tell him to come back and get me. But by the time I had to give him at least 15 minutes to get home, so he'd be there. He doesn't have a cell phone either. So as I'm sitting outside waiting, I'm on a bench, and this couple is walking and holding hands, and I'm sitting there with my music books on my lap, and I look over, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that's the guy.
Oh, God.
And then it clicks. My music lessons are in the town that they said the guy that's armed and dangerous is from. So I'm sitting there, and now I'm freaking out. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Now it starts pouring, raining. And I'm sitting on this park bench on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And they're walking towards me. So now I pick up my music books, right? So I have them like in front of my face and over my head for cover. So like to protect myself from the rain and protect my face so he doesn't see me. So I'm not looking. I know they must be approaching me and they must be close. And all of a sudden I hear, what are you doing? Why are you stopping? And I'm like, oh my God, the man had stopped in front of me with this girl who he was holding hands with. And he was like, what are you doing? Let's go. And he was like, oh, I just thought I saw somebody that I knew. I got up, I ran so fast into the little store that was next to the music school, and I shut the door and I locked the door. And now the store owner is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, I've been stalked for a couple months. And I'm like telling him the whole story, and he must think I'm absolutely crazy. And so like he's getting me towels to dry me off because I'm soaking wet and I'm crying and I'm a hot mess. And we eventually use his phone to call my dad to come get me.
Why didn't we call the police?
I guess I wasn't even thinking at that point. And I think the guy was just like, you know, we need to find your parents. I think he maybe also didn't want to get stuck with this little girl that's like crying and soaking wet and you know, calling the cops like, well, what are you doing with her? I don't know. I don't know that any of us were thinking in that moment. Yeah. I was really scared. So the cops,
understandably so.
Yeah. So the cops weren't called the final time. I guess also too, like it had always happened in my hometown, so I never thought of calling the cops in that town.
Wait, did the guy ever get caught?
Never got caught. But one of my really good friends ended up working in the police department in the town where I grew up. And so she had checked and it was still like an open case. They still had the file and everything. Yeah. She's like, no, I found it. She's like, you're right. She's like, I looked at the sketch. And was that?
So I wonder if he's dead.
So you know what's really weird? So maybe 10 years after that, I was in another surrounding town and I went into this Mexican restaurant, and when I walked in, I saw this guy and it just really gave me flashbacks. I don't know whether or not it was actually him because it had been 10 years. Very well could not have been, but
could you imagine if it was?
Men just kind of gave me like serious trauma after that for a while. I got over it eventually. But I walked in and I saw this man who looked just like him. Like I said, could have been, could have not been. Turned around, I was like, we need to leave. And I was with my ex-husband at the time. And he's like, why? I was like, we just have to leave. Just trust me. We have to leave. And it was just like this like triggering response that kind of freaked me out.
Yeah. You would have thought he would have saw your response and been like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. Let's out. And he's like, why? Why do we have to leave? I thought we were going to get Mexican food. I'm like,
there's other Mexican restaurants.
Go somewhere else, bro. Yeah. So that was my crazy story.
That's nuts.
Isn't that nuts? Did I ever tell you that story?
No, I never heard that one. That was a new one.
Yeah. It's a good story. But that was me at 12 years old. Windex and a knife. Yeah. I slept with that Windex and that knife by my bedside for probably about a year.
Really?
Oh, I was ready. If somebody was going to come, that was my plan.
Did your mom think you were nuts?
Oh, totally thought I was nuts.
Okay. She still does, but...
You know my Big Fat Greek Wedding, where they talk about like how they put Windex on everything? I just seen that movie. I'm like, Windex, it's going to work. It's going to be great. Like, it works on pimples. It'll work to blind somebody, right?
It works on pimples. Oh, my God. I can't. Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Yeah. So that's my almost intruder story. He kept trying to break into the house. And to this day, I probably shouldn't say this, but my parents still keep their doors unlocked. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Especially in the town they live in.
Yeah, it's not a good place. I mean, they live in a really nice section of the town,
granted.
Yes,
100%. But it's still
crazy stuff happens
the
all the
town.
time. Yeah. And my parents are older, you know, obviously, and you know, I'm sure they wouldn't be as keen on hearing something as I would be at this point, you know, like picking up on somebody walking outside. They probably wouldn't think twice about it. Probably wouldn't even hear it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know that they'd even hear it.
Plus, they have 2 dogs that are like 4 pounds each, and one of the dogs is deaf. So that's definitely not going to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither one of those dogs are going to do anything for them.
No, absolutely
Especially that deaf one. Is that the rat-looking one? No, that's the other one.
Well, so Samba's the red one. She's the Aussie Doodle. So she's like my Kaya.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the deaf one's the white one. That's Cha-Cha.
So it's the Aussie Doodle. That's the rat-looking one.
You think she looks like a rat?
Yes.
Yeah? I just think she's the size of a rat. I don't think she looks like a rat.
Oh, I think she looks like a rat with a really small tail, though. She's cute, though.
Yeah, she got a little nubby tail.
Yeah.
That's my girl. Yeah.
Where is Kaya?
Okay, so I bought a brand new car and I don't want to put her in it. I'm a bad
No, because I bought a new car and I won't put my dog in it either.
So I know that I have to get my dog to the groomer, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna call like a pet-friendly Uber to get her there, and then maybe I'll bring her back in my car when she's already cleaned and trimmed. I don't know. I don't want to put her in my car, but I feel better knowing that you don't want to put Toby in your car either.
I don't want to put Toby in the truck.
Yeah, I love the fact that we both bought new cars. Within like a week of each other?
I think it was 2 weeks, but
2 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Are you loving your truck?
I am. I enjoy it. It's smooth. It's smaller than my Tahoe, which is nice. But I have no complaints about it.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
I love it. It was not even on my radar. I went to the dealership to see another truck, and that was in the showroom, and I'm like, oh, what is that? And then I test drove the truck that I went there to see, and I was like, oh, I don't like it. And then I ended up buying the other one.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So fun.
I love it.
What other new things did you get? Anything?
What other new things did I get? Oh, I tried the Stitch Fix thing again.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay.
So I had a Stitch Fix subscription.
Say that 7 times fast.
Maybe 8 years ago or so to try it out, and I really liked it. They did a great job with my first shipment.
Yeah.
But it was just expensive.
Yes.
And I was like,
it's very expensive.
Yeah. I was like, so I canceled it, not for any reason other than it was just expensive. But I kept all the pieces. So now I'm trying to like add a couple things to my wardrobe, especially since we had the purge where we went through. What do we have, like 16 bags that we got rid of? I don't even know where that stuff fit. It all came out of my room.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I was there.
It was very impressive, the amount of stuff that came out.
The best, though, was throwing the bags. My kids.
Over the banister?
When we were throwing the bags, they loved that.
Yeah. That was so much fun. I loved it.
Did you get rid of all those bags?
I did.
Okay, good.
They're all officially gone, all officially donated.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so my mom actually brings them to this woman who takes clothes to a shelter for women who have been abused.
Oh, nice.
So they have kids and stuff there. So if you have kids' clothes or even, men's clothes, they might have like older teenage sons, they'll take everything. So
good, okay.
I take bedding and all sorts of stuff. So that was really nice. So they did get all of that stuff. So since I got rid of stuff, I said, you know what, I could use a couple more pieces. And I thought, why not spring for maybe a couple of like those classy like staple pieces that you have in your closet. So whether it's a really great pair of jeans or a blazer or, really nice work tops we both need tops. We were talking about that. We both need tops. So I have a plethora of jeans at this point. But
let's go to the mall and buy more jeans.
But I do need some tops. So I said, let me try the Stitch Fix thing. So I got my first box, and there were 5 items. Of the 5, I loved 2, kept 3.
It was a pair of pants and 2 shirts?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I sent the other 2 back. So I'm going to do one more box and see how that is. And then I think I'm going to try the Daily Look one, because I've
heard of that one. Yeah, I've heard about that one. I've never done that one. I, too, have done Stitch Fix. And I did it for 6-8 months at one point, and then I stopped, and then I picked it up again, and then I stopped. And I haven't, it's got to be at least a year, maybe even a year and a half at this point since I've done it last.
Yeah.
But like you were just saying, you and I have had this
up here.
Yeah, no worries. You and I had the conversation. We both need tops. I need more stuff for like this time of the year.
Yeah.
Other than t-shirts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, same. I have like t-shirts and tank tops, and I stopped buying stuff from Shein because I just feel like it's just really crappy and disposable, and the quality of like the material itself, a lot of times the stuff is like really shiny and just so I'm like, I'm not going to waste my money. I'd rather spend my money on a few good pieces than spend the same amount of money on a few good pieces for like a ton of really shitty clothes.
Right.
So I stopped doing that. So we'll see. I'm going to see how my next fix,
when do you get the next one?
It says it's going to be delivered June 13th.
Okay.
But my last one came early.
That's Friday.
Friday the 13th.
Dun, dun, dun.
see what happens. So we'll see what that box looks like, and then I think I'm gonna try the Daily Look one, just so I can say I tried it. When I look at the Daily Look, it looks like they do a lot more like full outfits as opposed to just pieces.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of cool too, because I work in the fashion industry and I don't really know how to put full outfits together like that. So I think that might be kind of fun.
Yeah, but you work behind the scenes in the fashion industry.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of my job to not be seen.
I was gonna say, you don't really need to be fashion forward.
Yeah.
In your specific line of work. So.
Yeah. But I like to, still when you go to the office, everybody's like all
100%.
branded out and their stuff. So I like to look nice and look the part. And
meanwhile, I go to work in leggings and a sweatshirt.
Oh, man, there are days that I wish I could do that.
It is nice. Although there are days where I actually get dressed too. But I had gone out Friday night, so I wore jeans and a bodysuit, and I brought my jacket with me, which I wound up not needing because it was way warmer than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Even where I had gone, it was. I thought it was going to be cold in the building. No,
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. I was like, oh, I didn't need that.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah, I have, tomorrow I actually have to head into the office for work. I have a NYPD conference.
Oh, fun.
At 1PP, actually, their police headquarters. So just like things like that, I just want to have...
So you got to actually get dressed for that.
I have to get dressed. And I don't just want to wear like a black suit and a white shirt and look like all the female detectives that go there. But I also don't want to look like I'm, a fashionista either. But I want to have just like something nice and professional that's not always just like a plain basic suit.
Right.
So I want to have those nice pieces.
Yeah, put yourself
but also
together.
Comfortable because you got to commute and, the train and the Uber and walking around the city.
Now, is this at the office or do you have to go into the city tomorrow?
This is in the city. This is at police headquarters.
Oh, okay.
NYPD.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have to go to work tomorrow. I will be in the office like I am every day in the week.
So you don't feel bad that I have to go into the city?
Not even a little bit.
Such a jerk.
Not even a little bit. Because I will be up and at work before you're even awake.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the morning. I feel like 5 should never have the letters AM after it. Ever.
I get up at 4 a.m.
That's stupid.
Tell me about it.
But see, maybe that's why the guy was knocking on your door at 4 a.m. He just wanted to make sure you're getting up for work. He didn't realize it was weekend.
It was a Saturday.
He didn't realize. Maybe he had too much to drink.
He was whacked out on something.
Yeah.
He was talking like the cop said to me, he was like, yeah, he was talking about Wiccan stuff. And I'm like, what? Okay.
So he's like
I need to go back to bed.
Spell on your house?
Apparently.
Ooh, maybe we should sage your house. Have you ever done that?
No, I don't believe in that.
No?
And like crystals and the rocks and all that. No, that's not my world.
What about like tarot, psychic stuff?
No, I don't get into that either.
No?
No. I know you like the whole psychic thing.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I've had a couple experiences though that like blew my mind that I'm like, there's no way that they would know if there wasn't something more to it. I mean like very specifics with like initials or names or dates, like very, very specific things. So I definitely believe that there's something there. But I don't know. I don't do like the crystals and the rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. Although I went out yesterday and bought new furniture. And then I had...
Always exciting.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait to get it all. It doesn't come till July, but that's a whole nother story. Which, by the way, I need to pick a new color for this room. I need to pick a new color for my bedroom. And eventually for the kitchen dining room area.
Okay.
Because I bought a new living room set, a new bedroom set, and a new kitchen and dining room set.
Ballin' much?
A little bit.
I love it.
You know what? It needed to be done. I mean, my stuff. I know you haven't noticed it, but it's hanging in by a thread at this point.
I remember when you got this couch that we're sitting on.
It's 10 years old, if not more.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not because your little one was 8 months old when I met you. And I remember you getting this couch.
So then it's got to be at least 8 years old.
7. 6.5. I'm going with 6.5.
Okay. It's more than that.
Yeah. But no, it still looks good. I mean, you keep it covered and stuff too.
Yeah, it's covered.
So it probably helps. The dog.
Oreo. You never met Oreo.
No, I didn't meet Oreo.
You didn't meet Oreo. She was a fucking maniac, that dog. She ate a hole through the ottoman. She ate a hole through my cushions. Yeah, she's a jerk.
Good times.
But she's cute. So.
Yeah.
Stupid dog.
I remember when you got the cat. Oh. Yeah. I was like, I'm not coming over anymore. You can come over my house.
Toby didn't like the cat.
Yeah.
Toby did not like the cat.
Yeah, Kaya doesn't do cats either.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Like, why would you bring a little tiger in the house?
This is why I like to send you cat videos.
There's no reason to bring a tiger into the house. It's scary. I've also been attacked by cats. Just not my jam.
You ever been attacked by
A bird?
No.
I don't know where she's going with this one. Sorry, guys.
I was gonna say, have you ever been attacked by a cock? And then I was like, no, don't say it.
Nikita.
Sorry.
We're gonna have to put a disclaimer on this video today.
You ever been attacked by a chicken?
No.
Rooster?
No.
Yeah, I have.
I do have a good story about a chicken, though. So one of my friends who I met, she became my friend. Turns out she was the wife of my boyfriend at the time. Did not know. Yes.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. So we decided we were going to get together and discuss all the things. And we were... we're at a petting zoo. And...
Were we petting animals?
We were.
Okay.
And...
How old were we?
Oh, I was like in my 20s.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Because that's what we do in our 20s?
Well, I figured if we were like in a public place, she wouldn't kill me.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And this chicken fell into this barrel of water, and the chicken started like drowning. And if you know me, you know I don't do birds either.
Yes.
I do not do birds. And I started freaking out and screaming and crying. And I was like, you have to do something. And she's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, you have to save the chicken. And I'm crying. And she's like, what do I do? And I'm like, I don't know, save the chicken. So she's my hero. She put her hand into...
I was your hero.
Well, you're my hero for saving babies and children. She's my hero.
Folding fitted sheets.
Yes, for saving chickens. So she put her arm into this wet barrel and she pulled this chicken out by its neck and she brought this chicken back to life. And I was so impressed by her.
I would not have saved the chicken.
I didn't save the chicken either, but I was crying. And
I would not have saved the chicken.
The chicken's gonna die.
No.
Did you save the chicken's life?
I was pregnant with my first one. I was like 8 months pregnant. And we were at my baby shower. And my girlfriend was like, oh, why don't we go outside and take pictures? I was like, okay, great. So we go outside and we go and take pictures. Fucking chicken. Attacks me out of nowhere. Just comes up to me and starts fucking pecking my foot. I'm like, what is going on? No idea why.
So when I was little,
Didn't need to do anything.
maybe like 5, my dad took my brother and I down to the park. And they had like a lake, and we were feeding the ducks. And my dad had like a whole sleeve of crackers, and so we were feeding all the ducks, and I guess everything was fine. And I was down to my last cracker, and I guess there was a specific duck that I wanted to give this cracker to, and another one came up to me, and I wouldn't give him the cracker, and the duck just bit it right off my hand. Maybe that was the start of me not liking birds.
Possibility.
Yeah. Got bit by a duck from a damn cracker.
Speaking of animals, I went to go pick up my groceries today.
Okay.
So I'm driving down the highway, right? Minding my own business, and I'm like, oh, there's something in the road. As I get like this far from it, realize it's a turtle. I was like, oh, the poor turtle.
And then you did nothing?
Well, First of all, I was doing 55 down this road, right? And there was people behind me, so I couldn't just stop short to save the turtle, which I would have saved the turtle.
You could have pulled over and put your hazards on, and then you could have blocked traffic and slowed everybody down and stopped them, and then you could have gotten a boy to pick up the turtle, because I wouldn't pick it up either.
That's something my ex-husband would have done. He legit would have stopped and saved the turtle.
See?
I know he's done that before.
He's a good man.
He is.
He is.
He's a good guy.
I have nothing bad to say about him.
Did he come and paint yet?
No, but I also haven't asked him yet either.
Oh, okay.
But I know that he's busy and he's got other side jobs and he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I still need to get rid of the dresser in that room and just get the, I have like a rug that I need to roll up, and I have a bookcase that needs to move. So I have some prep stuff that I have to do anyway.
Yeah, I have prep stuff I need to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. But
I guess with like all our life changes, painting and redoing rooms and buying new cars. And
it's like we're shedding the old.
Right? Like that saying they say, when a woman changes her hair, she's about to change her life. When she paints stuff and changes rooms and buys new things too. Life changer. Game changer.
Right.
Yeah. What are we going to do? This summer's like almost here in full force.
Dude, my kids leave in 2 weeks.
Right, that's crazy.
It's wild. I'm like, what? 2 weeks?
Are we going to get into shenanigans?
I don't know what I'm doing this summer.
I'm excited.
I don't know what we're doing. We will go down the shore at some point.
Yeah. Definitely.
So.
Because that's what we do. Do you hear your dog snoring?
Always when he sleeps.
I love how you got him a new bed, and he said, nope, I'm going to sleep on the ottoman instead.
Yeah, we're going to have a little conversation about that.
I think you just need to lay in his new bed with him.
I think I'm just going to put the blanket on his new bed and put the ottoman up on its side and let him figure it out.
And eventually he'll just transition.
Yeah, we're not going to deal with that. I'm not getting in that dog bed with him.
Oh, that sounds like a good plan.
He doesn't even get in my bed with me.
Yeah.
Nor will he get in my bed with me. I don't want him in my bed.
Your bed's also really high.
My new bed won't be very high.
Oh, no?
No, it'll be a normal height.
Okay.
It'll be normal height.
Is that bed so high?
Because I store a lot of junk underneath my bed.
Oh, so you just purposely, like, jack it up for storage.
But...
So do you have, like, drawers under your new bed where you're going to store your stuff?
Sure don't.
So you're just going to start a purge?
I'm going to not have stuff under my bed. I don't know where I'm going to put all the things.
Oh, wait. Where are we putting the things that are under your bed?
I don't know. I don't know where all the things are going to go.
We need to find a good hiding spot.
Yeah, I know. I'll find somewhere to put the things.
Yeah.
So I got some books under there that... Actually, the books that are under there, I don't want to keep under there, obviously. So I love the new bed that I got. Yeah. So I have to show you a picture of it. I think I sent you a picture of it. So it has
it's like wooden with like the shelves on the sides.
Yeah. So it has all the shelving on the side. So I think I'm going to put those books that are under my bed that are in my Louis that you had a heart attack about on one of the shelves. And then I want to go to like Home Goods and get fake plants because I kill plants.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll put.
I got mine from Kohl's.
Yeah. I'll put some of those on the shelves. And I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out what color I want to paint things though. I don't know what color I want to paint everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's always the exciting part, though, getting to pick out, like, new finishings and stuff. So I'm turning the spare bedroom in my house. So my spare bedroom used to be where my foster kids would sleep. So my foster kids got adopted. I'm not fostering. My daughter will be 18 in less than a year.
Which is wild.
Absolutely crazy. So I'm turning that spare bedroom into an office. So right now I just kind of work out of my kitchen, my living room, my basement. I have a desk set up.
I sit on my couch and work from my couch. Let's be real.
Sometimes I do.
I don't. I go to the office every day like normal human beings.
Like peasants.
Seriously.
But I usually end up at my kitchen counter. And
Yes.
I'm like, I just really want like a regular setup where I have my mouse, I have my keyboard, I have my monitors, I have my printer, I have everything set up in one place. And I'm not running down to like AirPrint something and send it to my phone and then send it from my phone to my... It's just too much work. So I'm turning that spare bedroom into my office, which I'm really excited about. So I got this amazing day bed that has a trundle underneath. So I still have the two mattresses. So when my kids come to visit, I still have a place for them to stay, of course. But it's not taking up so much of the room.
Oh, which I might have to stay by your place with Toby.
Okay.
After my children leave.
Okay. Are we renting your house?
No, we're going to get rid of all the things so we can paint.
Oh.
Sorry, that was like totally random, I know. No, but I was talking about it yesterday. I was like, I'm getting new furniture. It makes sense to refresh everything.
Yeah.
So then I was talking to my significant other, and I was like, oh, well, then I'm either going to have to stay by Lina's house or I'm going to have to stay by your place.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but I got Toby. I'll go to Lina's because Toby and Kai Bear can have a sleepover for however long we stay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
I don't know why we just don't live together. This whole 2 mortgages thing.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous. That would be
Sell
fun.
your place.
Could you imagine?
It'd be easier to sell your place than for me to sell mine.
Yeah. But I feel like I have more space because of like...
Because of the 3 levels.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the basement, I have the extra room too.
How many square feet are you?
Like 22.
Oh, you're definitely bigger because I'm 17, 18.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because I have the whole basement.
Yes.
You know? And then I also have an extra bathroom so more people can be pooping at the same time.
But you only have the 2 showers, right?
2 showers.
2 showers, right.
Yeah. But I have the half bath so extra people can be pooping.
Yeah, I have 2 full baths. But that's an interesting situation because the bathroom in my room, the master, I use it.
And your kids use it too.
And my kids use it too.
Yeah.
When they have a perfectly good bathroom in the hallway that they need to use for themselves.
But you don't make them use it.
Oh, I tell them all the time, get out of my bathroom, go in your own. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't want to hear it. You have your own bathroom. Go.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
But your bathroom's nicer. I'm like, yes, because it got redone.
Yeah.
So I need to talk to your significant other about that. I need to reach out to him.
Yeah.
But I just spent all that money on the furniture, so we're gonna
Always.
hold off on that one.
There's always something. I feel like,
Yeah.
you get a bonus and you have a payment to make. You get an extra payment that month because it just happens to be 3 paychecks that month and something happens with your car. Like, there's always something.
Where are you getting
that
3
happens.
paychecks? I get a paycheck every week.
Oh, I get paid every other week like most normal people.
Oh no, I get paid every week. It's a great thing.
My last job, I got paid every week. But this job, like almost every other job, because it's so expensive to do payroll every week. So companies save money doing payroll every other week as opposed to doing it every week.
I've never been at a job that I didn't get paid every week.
Well, that's because you've been at your job for 57 years.
I wish it was 57 years because then I wouldn't be working anymore.
But you've been there forever.
I have. I've been there 21 years? 20 years?
Yeah.
God, that's a long time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've been there like most of your adult life.
Yeah, it's been my one career
Yeah.
job. And then before that, I worked in retail, so.
Yeah.
But even when I worked in retail, I got paid weekly.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, more people get paid every other week because it's cheaper to do payroll that way as opposed to paying to have the payroll done every week.
And we have a lot of people on payroll.
But we always get excited. When I say we, I mean those of us that get paid every other week, when the payday falls on like a Friday when there's 3 Fridays in the month because then you end up getting an extra paycheck that month.
Gotcha.
Which is nice. But then something always happens where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
money goes right out the window.
Yep.
Every single time.
Hate when that happens. Can we talk, speaking of, not related to anything we were just talking about, it just popped into my brains, the weather lately,
Yes.
how craptastic it's been?
So I always say, like, we live in a state where you have to be able to adjust for 4 seasons in one day. It's like, you
Ain't that the
never
truth?
know what's going to happen. So there are days, like, what was it, like 96 degrees or something stupid. It was
Yeah.
so hot the other day. And then you have days where it just rains. And there's supposed
It's
to be thunderstorms
been
yesterday.
raining, I feel like, for 7 years.
Yeah. It's been a lot of rain.
And I have a feeling this summer is going to suck ass. And it's going to be one of those summers where it rains Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
See, I feel like it's going to be one of those things where it rains Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
It's going to ruin our summer.
100%.
So, like, I have summer Fridays. So I have half days on Fridays, which is great. But, of course, it's going to rain when it's all my free time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to happen.
I was just talking to a friend of mine at work. I was saying, I feel like it's going to be that summer where, like you just said, it's going to rain every friggin' weekend. Like, I'm just going to wind up taking days off because I'm not going to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Like, I can't not go to the beach.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we're going to have to just work that into our schedule and just pick, whatever day during the week that we're going to go down and just spend the night. So even if it's like, a Friday or whatever,
Yeah.
Thursday, whatever you want to do, we'll figure it out. But yesterday, speaking of the weather, it was supposed to thunderstorm.
It turned out to be it was hot. It was humid.
Yes. So I was actually at a charity softball game yesterday. I was a cheerleader, had a whole cheerleading squad.
Yes.
My cheerleading squad was anywhere between like 3 to 5 decades older than me. It was so much fun. I have pictures I will have to show you.
Okay.
But the weather kept saying that it was going to thunderstorm. So, of course, I brought an umbrella. So I probably broke the umbrella out about 5 different times and put it away because the rain just kept coming and going and coming and going. But thankfully, there was no like crazy heavy downpour or lightning or thunder like they were calling for. But it kept getting so muggy afterwards.
Oh, it was gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we went to the furniture store, it was raining. And then we came out and it was just humid and gross. And we had to go to a couple other stores. It was terrible.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for summer to be
And then even today, it was supposed to rain. It was nice this morning, like blue skies. I was like, oh, this is not a very rainy day. And now it looks like it's overcast out. It looks like it's going to rain.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a day that you could go and do something.
Yeah.
I can't. And it's June. It's June.
Yeah.
It's almost technically the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. Also, like Memorial Day weekend, I feel like the last 5 Memorial Day weekends have sucked weather-wise.
I don't remember. Look, I know, obviously, this past Memorial Day weekend was craptastic, but I don't remember last year or the year before.
They've been crappy for the
don't
last
remember.
few.
Yeah.
And I feel like, living where we live,
Excuse me.
Memorial Day weekend is like the official
big thing.
start of
Yeah.
summer for us. So even though it's not like, June 21st or whatever on the calendar, it's like the start of our summer. Memorial Day to Labor Day, right?
Yep.
It's our summer. But we really haven't had any great weekends, which I'm not upset about when it comes to traffic, given where we live.
Yeah.
Everybody passes right by us to go down the shore. We're on the way. So traffic on Fridays sucks.
Yeah.
But that's why we just got to kind of figure out our lives and maybe put on a Thursday.
Traffic this past Friday was horrendous getting on the main road, the turnpike, because where I work, you know, we have to get on the turnpike to come home. We must have lost 35, 40 minutes just trying to get on the turnpike. It was stupid. And then, you know, you get to one specific point and it opens up and you're like, well, what the hell?
Why was there traffic?
There was no accident. There was no cops. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Why?
It's so frustrating. I would love to just like get in a helicopter and sit up there and see like, where's the traffic? Why is there traffic? Why is it slowing down there? Oh, it's that asshole right there. And then like get on one of those loudspeakers, yell at them. Right? Like, I always wanted one of those horns that had the buttons where you're going to be like, move over, asshole, you're going too slow, you know? Or like, by the way, your light's out, you know? And like, let people know.
Get out of the fast lane.
Yeah.
Don't drive in the left lane, you jerk.
Right?
I can't.
I think it's fun. Like when I came by your house when we went to the concert.
Yes.
And I used the little speaker.
Dude, I was like, oh, God, here we go. I was like, I don't know her. She's not with me.
Oh, you definitely claim me. You know you love me.
You were being such a jerk that day.
What's that being a jerk?
You were such a jerk.
I don't even remember. What did I do? What did I do?
Oh, my eyeball. We got to the parking lot.
Yeah.
And the girl that parked next to me.
Oh, yeah. All right, Nikita, you tell everybody, and let's let everybody that's listening or watching decide who was the jerk. Please, me or the girl that was parked in two fucking parking spots?
I'm not saying she would, but you just kept going on. I'm like, stop being a jerk. Like, leave the poor girl.
Okay, first
the
of all,
best though was when we left, because I left before you, and we get to the car, and she's still there.
Like,
and I took a picture, and I'm like, oh, your best friend's still here.
Okay. You get a brand new Range Rover or something. You want to park in two spots so nobody fucking touches your $100,000 car? I could see it. You're driving a 1992 Volvo station wagon that was made before you were fucking born. Get your car out of the two fucking spots before I get you out of the car and make you move it with your hands, bro. Like, really? I don't know. That shit just fucking irked me. Plus, like, you're in a VIP lot where you're paying, like, I don't know, $60. Well, we don't pay for parking.
I was going to say, we weren't paying for parking. We had this conversation.
We didn't. But, like, you're paying, like, $60 for a fucking spot. Like, bro, we all know your 17-year-old ass didn't pay $122 for those two spots with tax or whatever. Like, move over.
And our 30 and 40-year-old asses didn't pay for parking either.
Well, that's because we have some upstanding citizens that accompany us. That's why. Yeah. I mean, like, when you save people's lives for a living, you get free parking spots. I mean, like, it's the least you could do.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
You were so funny, though. I was like, stop being a jerk. Stop being a jerk.
I mean, I feel like she was a jerk. I feel like we should do a poll and find out if she was a jerk or I was a jerk.
I think you both were being jerks.
I think she was the jerk and I was just reacting. And I wouldn't have been a jerk if it weren't for what she did. You know, you can't base my reaction to her action. Because if there was no action, there would have been no reaction.
Yeah, but her actions had nothing to do or no impact on you.
They did. Maybe I wanted to park in that spot. And I couldn't.
You weren't
her car
even driving.
There. Well, maybe I wanted to move the car there. Maybe I was uncomfortable in my spot and I wanted to move because the sun was beaming on me and I wanted to be on the other side in that spot.
It wasn't even sunny out.
Well, it could have been. I'm a lot fairer skinned than you are, Nikita, all right?
I know, we had this conversation already.
But it was a good concert.
So dark. So dark. I missed that tan. It was a good concert. As you know, it was the girls' first major concert, and it was my oldest birthday present, which when I gave her her present, I gave her a card, she ripped it open, and I was recording her. She's like, no, don't record me. And then she opens the present, and she realized what it was, and her whole little face just lit up, and she started crying.
Squealed, yeah.
Oh, she was so excited. So we get to the concert, and we obviously weren't sitting with each other, but so we're sitting watching the show, and Luke Bryan comes on, and it was my oldest, me, my youngest, my other half. And my youngest was standing on the seats because she's so little, and you know it's the seats where they flip up.
Yeah.
So Luke Bryan starts singing, and my oldest starts hysterically crying, and she grabs me, and I look at her, and she's crying. What, Lina? I was like, oh my God, what is going on? So I tell my little one, I'm like, hold on, let me figure out. I'm like, boo, what's going on? Why are we crying? Are these happy tears? Are these sad tears? Like, you got to give me something here because I don't know what's wrong. I'm like, are they happy tears? And she couldn't even get a word. I'm like, I said, are you happy we're here? She's like, yes, this is the best birthday present ever.
Aww.
So sweet, so cute. But yeah, she hears all the songs she wanted to hear. My little one's over here. She's like, Mom, is he gonna play It Again? I'm like, yes, he's gonna play It Again. And I said, it's one of his staple songs. Of course he's gonna play it. I just want to hear Play It Again. And she, all the other songs come on. She's like pouting. So now she's sitting, playing on her phone, pouting. So I said to my other half, I'm like, listen, I said, I'm waiting for him to play it again, and then we can leave. He's like, are you sure he's going to play it? I'm like, yes, he's going to play it. It's a massive song.
Yeah.
So he played, I forget what song it was. Whatever song it was. And then Play It Again came on. And her little face lit up. And she just bounced right up, singing along to it. The song ends. And I said to the girls, because it was like 10:45. And I was like, listen, I said, do you guys want to stay? I said, the concert is going to be over in 15 minutes. Because you know how they only play till 11. Or do you want to leave? And they both look at me and they're like, can we go home? Because they'd been up since 6 o'clock in the morning. It was 11:15 at that point. I was like, yes, we can go home. So we start walking. We get up to like the concession area. And they both stop me and they're like, Mom, we want to stay, but we're so tired.
Aww.
I'm like, guys, it's okay. We can leave. You're not going to be mad at us? No, I'm not going to be mad. I said, it's been a long day. I understand. It's okay. We can go. So we walk out to the car and it just starts like spitting rain. I'm like, oh, we're just getting out of here in time. Did it rain? Because it started raining when we were driving home. Did you guys get stuck in that walking or no?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but she lost her mind crying.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
I remember my daughter's first concert. It was also at the same venue. And she
Who'd
had
you take her to see?
come with me. Well, so we were going to Blake Shelton. I had tickets to go to Blake Shelton, and I just asked if she wanted to come with me. I just bought 2 tickets and wasn't planning on anything, and I just asked her if she wanted to come.
How old was she?
She was probably about 7 or 8 years old, I'd say. And when we were like kind of waiting in the area where we had parked, and we were going, like getting the chairs out of the trunk to bring, because you used to be able to bring your own chairs and the lawn seats.
Oh, yeah.
And there was this couple that was like, oh, no, they actually changed the rules this year. You can't bring chairs. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, no, you can't bring chairs. I'm like, no way. So I was going to walk to put the chairs back, and my daughter had asked, like, can I just stay here? So they're like, yeah, we'll keep an eye on her. You know, no big deal. And I mean, she wasn't far. It's not like I left her with strangers. I could see her. And I said, yeah, just stay here. I'll just put these in the thing. So I put them in. I came back, and she's having a whole conversation with these people. They're like, oh, you know, we didn't know this was her first concert. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, do you really like Blake Shelton? And she's like, well, like, I like Blake Shelton, but like, you know, my mom had tickets, and, you know, she just asked me to go with her. So I wanted to go. And so the guy was like, well, if you can see anybody who you would want to see, who would you pick? And she's like, Taylor Swift. And he was like, oh, that's really cool. So as we were kind of all walking together, the guy had kind of sat back with me, and he goes, would it be okay if I got 4 tickets for your daughter to see Taylor Swift? And I was like, what? And he was like, well, yeah. He's like, I work for a company that works with Live Nation. He's like, and I can get tickets to anything. He's like, the only thing is that, you know, I would really have to ask that you don't resell them. He's like, because I can get in trouble. And I'm like, no. I was like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
It's impossible to get T-Swift tickets. Like, there's no way. I'm like, and at that point, you know, we're talking this probably about 10 years ago, I'm like, I couldn't afford to get Taylor Swift tickets. And he's like, absolutely. He's like, how many do you want me to get? I'm like, what do you mean, how many? He's like, well, you want me to get 4 so she can take a couple of her friends?
Aw.
I was like, are you serious? And he's like, totally. And I thought it was the nicest thing.
Yeah,
so this random couple, never saw them again after that or anything. The only thing that they asked is that we sent a video of them playing their, I guess the Love Story was their favorite song, a video of it from the concert. So we took a video of them playing it and a video of Maddie saying thank you with her friends and sent it to them. But had never spoken to them after that. And he just got her 4 tickets.
That was sweet.
So I took my daughter and 2 of her friends, and we went to go see Taylor Swift in Philly.
Oh, that's fun. Speaking of Taylor Swift, you know how she just did the whole Eras tour?
Yeah.
So my niece, her sister, her mother, was it just the 3 of them? I think it was just the 3 of them. Might have been my other sister too. But regardless, they went to go see the Eras tour in Florida.
Okay.
So, and it was in October that they were going. And I had called my niece and I'm like, hey, I said, you're going to Taylor Swift. She's like, yeah. I go, can you do me a favor? She goes, yeah, what's up? I said, can you record Love Story for me? I said, it's my little one's birthday. She's begging me to go see her. Couldn't get tickets. Not that I was going to pay $1,000 a ticket anyway. I said, but if you can just record that one song and send it. She's like, yeah, I got it. She sent me a perfectly recorded video of it. And I gave it to the little one for her. She was like, this is the best birthday ever.
Aww.
Then after we left the Luke Bryan concert, she's like, Mom, can we go see Taylor Swift? And I was like, she's not playing right now.
Well, you know what a lot of people are doing for Taylor Swift, because price gouging is such a serious thing here in the U.S., but it's legal. It's not legal in other countries.
I know.
So people are actually taking full-on vacations and going to see her in, like, Germany or wherever.
Speaking of, last summer when I was in Europe, and I think we were in Germany at the time, actually. Yeah, I think we were in Germany. We left the day before she was playing.
Smart.
And no, not even intentionally. We didn't realize it at the time. And we were looking for things to do. And I happened to look at concerts in the area of where we were staying. And I'm like, Mother F. I said, babe, we could have went and seen Taylor Swift. He's like, I would have went too. Just because of the experience. You know, you're in another country, go see Taylor Swift. He's like, I totally would have went. I was like, it's a 3-hour concert. You would have went? He's like, yeah. I was like, can we extend?
Yeah, but people are actually getting flights and hotels and meals and everything for cheaper, and the Taylor Swift tickets, cheaper than just the tickets are here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is insanity.
100%. It's
like, I hope somebody
crazy.
does something about that, because it's sad that there's so many fans that want to see tickets and people are taking advantage of it and reselling tickets, and
it's crazy.
Nobody that actually wants to go is able to go, and so many different corporations get tickets for these things that they just kind of give them away, and it's sad for the kids that actually want to go see their idol. You know?
I saw Taylor Swift years ago, like when one of her first... I want to say it was during her Fearless tour. So she was still relatively new. My mom and I went. She put on a good show back then. I can only imagine. Like, I saw the Eras tour on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a great show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we saw her, I believe it was a Reputation tour in Philly.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like T Swift.
Yeah. I like her music.
She's due for a new album soon.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't heard anything really new out of her, right? What came out? 22? There's something that was just on the other day on the radio from her.
I don't remember. But the Tortured Poets Department was her most recent, which was in April, I think she dropped that. She was still touring.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think about. You know, she's doing these 3-hour tours.
And making a new album.
It was a double album, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy.
I want to be like her when I grow up.
You're older than her.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm still not grown up.
Okay. Did you see there was like pregnancy rumors sparked?
No.
She was wearing. She went out with, I don't know, one of her friends, whoever. I just happened to see it on Facebook or whatever. But she was wearing a Gucci outfit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and she looked and it was funny because I remember thinking to myself, oh, she looks pregnant. Whatever. Like, it was like one of those fleeting thoughts. And then, like, the next day, I saw something like, Taylor Swift sparks pregnancy rumors. I'm like, I thought she looked pregnant too.
Was it just like an empire-waisted like dress?
Yeah, it just wasn't a flattering outfit at all on her. Which is probably all it was. I don't think she's pregnant.
So, have you seen all those pictures of like Ariana Grande where they showed her like before and now? I guess one of the recent things that she went to, and the dress that she was wearing, the way they styled her hair, and what she looks like now. And they were saying like, why does she look so completely like a different human being than she did before?
No.
All right, I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you. I thought the same thing too, because I saw her and I'm like, wow.
She did lose a lot of weight too, though.
Yes, yeah, she got really, really thin. But
and was that for Wicked?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Just in general.
It was like some award show that she was going to. I don't know if it was like the Grammys or the Academy Awards or something. And it was like the outfit choice that she had and the way she did her hair and everything. Like, it looked like, you think about Ariana Grande and you think like, you know, the pony that she always does and like the traditional kind of like Ariana Grande look, and she just looked nothing like herself.
Well, that's even like Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
I've been seeing all kinds of articles about her and, you know, owning up to all the work she's had done and, you know, the boob job and this and that and the other thing. First of all, it's a woman's right to do whatever they want.
Right.
Like, get off these people's back. You know what I mean? Yes, she looks completely different, but she looks freaking beautiful. Leave the woman alone.
Yeah.
You know, even like Kris Jenner, she just had a whole face work done. Did you see all that?
No, I didn't see.
Oh, you know who she looks like now? She looks just like Kim.
Really?
Oh my God. Her and Kim are like identical.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So, and then even Chloe. She gets a lot of hate for everything but the woman's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, crazy.
So I'm prerogative. I'm way too scared to ever think about touching my face.
I do Botox.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know. I just feel like you can't hide it. If you botch something else, you can like put clothes over it, but your face, it's there.
So I do Botox, but I don't do a lot. You know, like I can still move my face. My face is smooth. So
Yeah.
I've only done it a few times, but I love it. I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
But again, I can still move my face.
Yeah.
I still have emotion.
Yeah.
Emotion? Well, I have emotions.
You have
Sometimes.
emotion.
Sometimes I have emotion.
Motion and emotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Words. Look at Toby's tongue.
He's so cute.
He's literally snoring over there with his tongue sticking out.
Yeah, just like a centimeter.
I think that's a little more than a centimeter.
Yeah. Okay, centimeter and a half. Have you seen that meme? Speaking of people who had work done, it made me think of Madonna and Cher. Have you seen that meme about Madonna and Cher? And it was like, don't worry if you're still single. You could just be like Madonna and Cher. Your husband's not even born yet. Because they have like boyfriends that are like 45 years younger than them.
No, I didn't see that one. What was the one meme I just sent you, though? I remember us both dying laughing about it, though.
I don't remember because you sent me so many.
I do send you a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see if I can find it real quick.
I love when you kind of just look through our like social media chat history and it's just memes and reels back and forth.
Yeah, I do that with you and my girlfriend Nicole at work.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, bro. Trust me. Your bestie's love of life will become your problem too.
Oh yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, that one. That was. Oh, and
Tell me that wasn't perfect. Did you literally not just tell me?
Stop.
About nude leggings?
Yes.
And then I saw that and I sent it to you. I mean, it was perfect.
Was hilarious.
And I was like, oh my God, I just saw your friend in Walmart. And I sent you that meme.
I was dead. I saw that and I busted out laughing. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny.
It's because I'm funny.
We're jerks. We are jerks.
Not us. The girl in the 1992 Volvo, she's a jerk.
Oh God. Well, what else you got for me? Anything?
Well, I think we should probably save some stuff for another episode because I feel like our listeners and our viewers might be missing us, and we're gonna have to come out with some new content.
And we need to get back on the weekly train, if not weekly, every other.
Yeah.
So we need to.
We did get a couple emails from some of our listeners.
Oh my gosh, yes. We can talk about that in our next one.
So I think we should probably address that in our next one.
Yes.
Because we want you to know that if you are reaching out to us, we do get it. We do see it. It's not some third party that gets it and vets it. We read them.
No, we do everything.
We laugh.
We do everything from setting up the equipment to recording to editing to
posting
social
on the
media
accounts, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we will definitely get to you. If you've reached out to us, we will let you know on our next episode that we heard from you and what our thoughts are. And if you haven't reached out to us and you want to, you are certainly welcome to reach out to us on our social medias, TikTok, Instagram. We have an email address.
And Facebook too. We're on
Facebook as well.
So definitely reach out and we could share anything you would like to share.
Yeah.
We could talk about it.
Yeah. Until next time, this is Two Voices.
One vibe.